Welcome to everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We're really excited. We've got a great crew of people here, and we're going to talk about a really important issue. I'm Barbara Joseph, coming to you from Central Maine, and Suzanne Steele from New Hampshire is going to do the presentation, and then we will share some stories. So if we're going to look, that water is not just a beverage of choice, but an essential nutrient. I wonder if anyone saw the cover of Reader's Digest of August 2011. The cover said, "How safe is our water? It may contain rocket fuel, birth control pills, arsenic, and more." So obviously we want the best ever water, and let's find out a little bit more about this. And we want to give credit and thanks to Dr. Gary Lindner of Self-Care Awakening that we have adapted this PowerPoint presentation from him. So, Suzanne?
Hello, everyone. Well, as you can see on this screen, the human body is about 80, over 72, I'm sorry.
Is that you or somebody else's feedback? There you go. That sounds good. Are you there now, Suze? Okay, so I will take over about the human body. And I love this picture because I love swimming and it kind of looks like a mermaid person. And we're 72% water, so it would be pretty critical what we're putting into our body for that nutrient. Our blood is 82%, our skin 80%, our muscle, our brain, and our bones. Every single part of us needs and is contingent upon having water. So the best water would be the healthiest for us. Great.
As far as dehydration goes, there are a lot of issues. If we aren't drinking enough water, it can be just being tired, feeling fatigued. You might have some joint pain. Believe it or not, you might gain some weight. For me, a headache was a big challenge. Until I started getting better hydration, that's when my headaches started going away. And as you can see, there are a lot of other issues. I love what it says right here, that much of our fluid intake can have a deleterious effect on our health, as caffeinated diuretic beverages may contribute to this problem. And most people don't think that that's possible, but it does. It does really affect us in a big way.
And you know, a lot of people don't drink water because they don't like the taste of it, because obviously there's chlorine in the water, which we're going to find out more about. But the other thing I want people to notice with this list is a lot of those conditions that are listed are chronic diseases that are oftentimes treated with medication. And what if drinking more water, quality water, could solve that problem?
I don't know about you, but a picture can say 1,000 words. If you're not familiar with this term of pH, this picture shows you. If you are more acidic, that's where sickness occurs. And if you're more alkaline, that's where you can gain better health. So if you are more on the acidic side, our key is to try to bring more balance or more alkalinity into our life.
And one of the examples I give is if anybody's ever had a fish tank, if the water's too acidic, you will probably find the fish floating belly up because it's creating that disease condition. So we want to be healthy and happy and have that lovely alkaline water. So some of the common water choices that we're all familiar with, or you can just get your tap water. It might come from a municipal city, or it might come from a well. So many people are filtering their water. Reverse osmosis is one of the options that people use, but the really big company that's out there right now is bottled water. And Suzanne's going to tell us a little bit more about these.
So as you can see, we've just put a couple of things that go along with each. As you can see, all of them are acidic. The tap water, chlorinated, which is a toxic chemical. However, it's needed to be able to kill the things that we don't want in our water. And you also see there are no minerals getting added back in to any of these options for water. You can filter it, which is great. And then you see reverse osmosis. It is expensive to not only invest in a reverse osmosis solution for your house, it's also expensive because it's utilizing an awful lot of water to create the healthy water for you. And then the bottled water, it's also expensive because you're spending money to get that bottled water. It is an environmental hazard, and depending on how long the water has been in those plastic bottles, that plastic leaches into that water that you're going to be utilizing, and hopefully not affecting you in a negative way.
And another component about bottled water is that it is less regulated than even tap water. And I'm going to share a little story here, which I have a friend who lives in a place where she has municipal water, and she had quite a challenge with dry skin, and uses something that we will be introducing you to soon, so that doesn't exist for her anymore. But I think I jumped the gun a little because we haven't gotten to the solution, so I apologize. Here's the bottled water problem. We spend a whole lot of money on it, and look what it does. It creates this environmental hazard that is filling up our oceans and creating problems for the natural biodiversity that exists, and it's a very serious problem. These bottles don't break down. Takes them about 1,000 years. So we're getting to the solutions now. Hooray. What if we could create this wonderful, delicious, fresh spring water right in our own home or in our own offices, wherever we happen to be? So what does that look like, Suzanne?
Well, I love the stair-step approach we have here. You want to have advanced filtration. The next one, those are different standards that one would want to meet. We want to have that alkalinity. And how to do that? Well, there's ways to do it by adding ceramics and minerals back into the water. You also want to address the water in a way to make it energized, micro-clustered, and what that does is it helps you get hydrated better. And if you're going to invest in healthy water, you want to make it easy to use and maintain. And then last but not least, you want to make sure it's cost effective.
I think people look at those last two a lot. So we have been introduced to something called PIMAG water. It's energized living water. It's very simple and compact. You simply take your tap water, pour it in, and it goes through this amazing filter that finally filters it to the standards that are necessary, adds good minerals which are essential to our good health. It restructures the water to be on that alkaline level, which is brilliant. I think it's really important. There's no electricity that's necessary. And when people taste it for the first time, they realize that it tastes different. It's smooth, it's light, and they feel that it's getting absorbed more quickly into their tissues. So how perfect is that it can be great for your body, your wallet, and the environment, that you can have it at your home, or you can have this small sport bottle wherever you go that you can take water from the tap and have that same filtration system.
One of the keys that I really spoke to me when I had the system available, a number of years ago we lost power. Both Barbara and I, and some of us on the phone, are in the Northeast, and we just are living through another snowstorm today. We lost power in December for 6 days a number of years ago. And I was so glad I had the system, because I went to the school, got water from the school because we didn't have a generator, and I brought the water home and put it through my system. And I was amazed that after those 6 days alone, I had to change the filter because it had taken so many bad things out of the water that was in our school system. So it was wonderful to know that if I created healthier water, it was really helping myself. But this picture says it all as well. These are the different uses or the different applications, water sources that you might choose. And as you can see, these sweet potatoes thrive in certain environments. And it certainly isn't the tap water environment, and reverse osmosis isn't creating a whole lot of life for that sweet potato. The well water, there is a little, but as you can see, the PIMAG seems to be doing the most for that sweet potato.
And isn't that great how a picture is worth 1,000 words? It's so clear right there. So we're going to go into stories, and I'm just going to backtrack to what I had started to introduce, which plays off a little bit about what Suzanne was talking about. This friend of mine with municipal water was having challenges, and we also have a shower system, filtration shower head. So when she started using that, her skin cleared up, her hair, it had more gloss and glow. And she has a different, she has also this water system, the compact one. And I was just there the other day, and she was showing me how she needed to change it, and the yellowing that was occurring because of all of the toxins that were pre-filtered before it got into the wider filter. So isn't it lovely to know that we, or the people that we know and love, can have access to water that's going to really make a difference in their health? So I want to invite, there's other people on the call that I'm sure they have stories about themselves or others, and if they just can unmute, share succinctly their story, and then go back on mute and somebody else can come on with their story. And who would like to start?
I'd like to start if I can. I'd like to talk about the sport bottle. I traveled for a number of years on business, and the sport bottle always came along because it was so helpful. When you travel, you're at an airport, you don't have a lot of choices. You have water coming out of the bubblers, or you have bottled water, which is expensive. Bringing the sport bottle, I was able to use just the tap water coming out of the municipal systems, and I knew it was filtering out all those nasty things that were spoken about before. Very cost effective. And although I'm not traveling as much now, I still rely on the sport bottle. I'm an avid golfer, and I also like to walk the golf course. So particularly in the summer, it's pretty hot out there, and you really need to stay hydrated. So I know by bringing my sport bottle with me, I'm able to stay in good shape and not run out of gas near the end of the round of golf, because I've been using that healthy water all the way. So I really strongly recommend the sport bottle. It's very flexible, particularly for people on the go.
Bob, can you tell us where you're calling in from?
We're down in Biddeford, Maine.
Thank you.
My name is Laurie Jones, and I'm in South Carolina. I've noticed a lot of difference with water in my life. I'm a lifeguard in the summer, and this was the first summer that I actually had a PIMAG shower head filtering my water, and I did not use lotion this summer. This is the first and only summer in my entire life that I did not use lotion. So I know that the PIMAG shower head, it was hydrating me, and just drinking the water it's delicious. Recently, last week, I burned my arm. I work in a kitchen, and I burned my arm severely. It was a 2nd-degree burn. I immediately went to my office, poured my entire 20-ounce water on my arm, and 4 days later, you can barely see a scar. Now, one of my other workers burned herself the same way about 4 months ago. She still has a very large scar. And I'm blown away at PIMAG, and I always find new things that I can use it for. But it's delicious, and it has made a huge difference in my health as well. So, yay PIMAG water.
Thank you, Lori.
I'd like to jump in about my PIMAG water. Can you hear me? I'm Nancy Lindblom, and can you hear me?
Yes, Nancy.
Okay, sorry, I got earplugs on. I started using the PIMAG water about 15 years ago, and I was on 2 drugs for acid reflux and irritable bowel. when I got on the water, this is why the pH is so important. I got off the water, I got off the drugs, went into my doctor, and he said, "Why aren't you taking your drugs?" I said, "I don't have the symptoms because I'm alkalizing my body." And he said, "Well, you're 50. You need to take these drugs." I said, "No, I don't." On to another doctor. And I too, like Lori, the shower system, I don't use lotion anymore. And I think the key thing with a water bottle, isn't it true? You bury it in the ground and it disappears in 60 days. So it's so cost effective and environmentally for our landfills or whatever. But that's my pie story.
Thank you, Nancy. And you brought up a couple of great points. We obviously can use the water bottle for a long time. We replace the filters, but the bottle lasts for a long time. And then it is biodegradable, which is lovely. And we don't make any medical claims, yet when you put the body in a position where it's alkaline and it's nourished, it can do amazing things. And as we saw on the first slide, when we're 70% water, 82% water, the kind of water that you're taking in is going to have an effect. So thank you. I think we have time for a couple more.
I'll jump in. I'm Carol Hackbart. I live in Wisconsin. We recently did a Earth Care conference, and I'm on the committee that made it happen. And they were all worried because of what they were going to do about water, and they could hardly bear the thought of having to bring in bottled water. And so I volunteered PIMAG waterfall, and it's so easy to transport. The big one is easy to transport. And they were so happy that they could have the pure water and be confident of that. And actually, when somebody came to make coffee, they were just panicked because the place we had it had a history of contaminated water. And they were worried, and I said, "Don't worry, we have the water filter." And everybody, calmed down, and they were really happy about it. The other thing that I really love is when I'm traveling, to be able to take my water bottle, empty it before I go through security, and then on the other side of security, I can just fill it up with the tap water, and I don't have to spend the high cost of bottled water getting on the plane, and have that with me. So one of my parishioners also had skin trouble, and she has the waterfall also for water, but also the shower head. And it's been a godsend for her in terms of helping her with her skin issues. So
thank you.
I'm grateful.
That's wonderful. It's nice to be able to share with people and make a difference.
And this is Angie Patnote, and I, everything that's been said, but specifically, I have a client who used the waterfall, and what she noticed the most before she invested in the shower head is that she could tell by the skin, her skin color, but also texture and the softness, as she described it, of her skin. And she said, I could look at my face in the mirror, and I knew whether I was well hydrated or not, and I would remind me that, okay, I have to drink more water today than yesterday. But that was what she noticed, is her skin was softer and more supple. But she said, especially her face, that's where it showed up most. So everything that's been said is right on. But hydration comes under a lot of colors.
And Angie, where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Biddeford, Maine, southern Maine, and my background is nursing.
I wanted to ask you that next. You must have been reading my mind. So you know the importance of water given your background.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Suzanne, closing comments?
I wanted to say something if I could.
Oh, please do. Who is this?
Angie.
Angie Kirschner.
Angie from Central Maine.
Great.
I just wanted to, because my sister's on the call, and I've been talking to her about Nikan, and it's for me in the beginning when I first started talking with Barbara, it was kind of an elusive company where I wasn't sure what it was, and as I'm learning more and more about it, I just feel like one of the videos that I listened to, it's the golden goose egg. You know, it's like, how could you not take advantage of what Nikan offers? So this weekend I tried the water for the first time, because Barbara was nice enough to have me over to see some of the products and stuff. And the water was, I mean, I can still taste it. It was so sweet and smooth that I wish that I had it here now. I wanted to take it home with me. But, you know, I haven't told my sister that or anything. We have a plethora of other things that we talk about. But, yeah, it just, you know, with the water, the air, the sleep system, I wish that I could have it all, like snap my fingers and just have it all, because I mean, it's so great. And I don't know, maybe I don't know, Niken has a certain kind of person that loves it.
Well, Angie, you really are, I couldn't ask for a better segue than what you just gave us.
Okay.
You know, you just said, I just wish I had it all. And, you know, looking at the picture of the little water droplet, one of the things we call it is magic water. And when you call our PIMAG water magic water, kids really love it. You know, you make it fun for them. And the water itself is something that you can either have your body be the filter for the water, or you can utilize solutions like we just shared with you to help your body not work as hard. So those are your options as far as water goes. And we all want all the options that we have. So how do we do that, and how do we wrap it up? We call it a wellness home. And we offer things that you can build over time and create a solution to help you, not only yourself, but your family, stay healthier. My sister's on the call too. That's Lori. And it's wonderful to be able to offer something not only to friends, but family as well, and make a positive impact. And we create a way that you can create additional income by helping people feel better. And that's how we get to afford all these wonderful things to help ourselves feel better and help others do the same.
Beautiful. I'm going to stop the recording and stop the share on that wonderful message, and we will all be joined together in just a minute. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us and for sharing from the heart.